Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stream Key for real this time. This is our weekly show at TRUgaming where yada 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 we talk with streamers about ways to improve on Twitch. And this week we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to try a live call-in episode. I definitely did not steal this idea from another podcast that I love. So don't blame me for that. Basically, the way this is going to work is you'll be able to call into the show with a question or a topic. It can be a direct question about if you want help with something, traditional stream key kind of stuff, or you can bring a opinion about something related to Twitch that we discuss. So for example, I think Ninja got very lucky and doesn't deserve to be where he is on Twitch. That could be an opinion that you bring to us and we talk about, and you defend it and we talk about that. It's a little bit different than usual. It could also be something like, I think that streaming one game is always the best way to grow on Twitch, and here's why. And so this is a little bit different than usual because we'll be kind of debating it, and it's not so much just like giving you the answer as much as we kind of hash it out and get different perspectives on it. So I think it should be cool. I made a Discord server just for this show. So what you want to do is join that Discord server and post your topic or question in the chat. And if I see that, I'll grab you and pull you into a waiting room, and then ideally, I was going to pull you into the actual chat me and Devin would be in, but of course, it's being weird today. So we're going to actually have to pull you into the video call, which means you'll have to be my friend first. So I'll send you a friend request. You'll accept it. You'll have to come on the show and ask your question and talk about it. Hopefully, that makes sense to everybody. It's a little more complicated than it should be. But basically, join the Discord server, and then we will grab your topic and bring you on the show. So, yeah, that's the gist of it. You just ask questions. Yeah, you can try to ask questions via text to Mr. Pure Instinct. I think this one's cool to have specifically people come in and talk in voice if you're around. That's the idea of this show. But you, of course, can still ask questions via chat, and we will get to those. Anyway, I should probably introduce who I'm here with, Mr. Velok TV. Welcome back to the show for the third time, I want to say.
Something like that.
Yeah. How you doing today?
Not the first time. I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, dude. I wish Skype would kind of cooperate a little bit more, but
yeah, I know it's not being very nice to us today.
It's not, but we'll figure it out anyway. So yeah, your stream looked like it was going pretty well today. It
was trolly. I play that game, Clone Drone in the Danger Zone, and it definitely shows you how much your chat dislikes you. So it was a salt fest for sure.
Yeah, that game has like Twitch chat integration too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. So like basically like they get coins over time. They can also bet on when you're gonna die and what's gonna kill you, and then they can use those coins to spawn enemies in the game, and it's hilarious.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really fun to play with, I gotta say. If you're a streamer, definitely check it out because there aren't many Twitch chat integrated games out there that are really good, and this seems to be a good one. So I did quickly want to talk about some Twitch news. There's not a ton of it lately, but I figured you and I could kind of quickly go over it and see if you have any thoughts on it.
For sure.
First thing is Bits extensions just came out. I don't know if you've played around with those at all. Basically, they're extensions that let viewers use bits to interact with them. So you can play games, I think. You can do all sorts of things. I haven't actually played around with them too much, but I just want to kind of get your thoughts on them as a whole. You think they're a good idea? You think, I mean, if you haven't played around with them, you might not have an opinion on it, but
yeah, I mean, I don't really have an opinion on it just because I hadn't even really heard of that, to be honest. I think it could be cool if they do it the right way. I mean, it sounds pretty interesting and different, but yeah, other than that, I would just have to see where it goes.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think of the fact that you have to use bits to interact with an extension? Do you think that's like could potentially be good? Or is it bad that people have to pay to interact with something that's not even the actual stream?
That is a very solid question. I don't know, because I don't like making people pay money for anything. I don't like, like having an extension up there and like the only way to interact with it is cheering bits. I don't totally agree with that. But if it's worth it, like if the return to the viewer is worth it, I feel like then it's okay. But I don't know, just putting more things up there, asking for more money essentially is just that.
To me, it kind of feels different. Like Amazon, like a very Amazon move.
Yeah.
with this. But I don't know. Maybe people get some good use out of it. It seems weird. I think Twitch is just sort of looking for ways to use bits more, and essentially to generate more money. So
I mean, that's what they've been doing ever since they launched the affiliate program. Everything they've done. I mean, and I'm not knocking them for it. Like it's a business; they need to make money for it. But ever since the affiliate program, they've been, the affiliate program was only to make more money, 100%. It wasn't to try to get, like, I guess, kind of to get streamers to, be more motivated to stream more, because now we can make money faster and easier and everything. But the base reason for that has to be just like, think of the money we'll make. That's like, there's no way they weren't thinking that.
Yeah, I agree with that. So also, I guess Fortnite came out with the new Twitch Prime bundle yesterday. You can get some new skins on there, and I just thought this was crazy. I had to bring this up. So Ninja tweeted out yesterday, in 8 hours, he got 30,000 subs in one stream. And he's now over 200,000 total subs, which is nuts.
Wow.
I just briefly want to talk about that, because can you just imagine getting 30,000 subs in a single stream? 8 hours.
I would cry. And obviously it's a totally different level of, of what he's used to compared to what I'm used to. But regardless, 30,000 subs in an 8-hour stream is ridiculous. That is holy shit.
Unprecedented.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it used to be like, man, Dr. Disrespect's like the biggest streamer on Twitch, and then this dude blew everything out of the water, and it's amazing. I'm really happy for him. I think he deserves it. A lot of people don't, but I think he's been doing really good things, and like he's definitely been, promoting Twitch 100%. So like it's just making everything grow. So but he's killing it, absolutely killing it.
I mean, he was saying it was the power of Fortnite and Twitch Prime, basically that combo. I would love to get some people on the show later to talk about Ninja. I'd just like to get some different thoughts on him, because I know people love him, people hate him. So it'd be cool to get some different ideas about him and debate that stuff. But
yeah, for sure.
So that was nuts. 2 things I literally just saw in like the past 5 minutes from Twitch. I had no idea. They have a new channel analytics page, which I guess is more in depth. I don't know if you've looked at that yourself yet.
A little bit. It didn't seem like it was too different from the couple of times that I've checked it out. Like, they've added a couple, like, different things. I think they took out some things that weren't as relevant, but it's pretty much the same stuff.
Right. Yeah, it's a sense I got too. Just a little bit cleaner and shinier.
Yeah.
More or less. Also, I just saw this on the dashboard. They're removing the channel feed and pulse from Twitch. What do you think about that? Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, like how you could like post it Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah, like statuses.
Yeah, that's probably for the better. I mean, I haven't used it since like mid last year.
Yep.
I don't know. You can't really do as much like to post to Twitter on there as most people would like. Like, you can't like link a picture or anything.
Right.
It's pretty basic standard stuff. So it's not as usable as people would like. So I can definitely see why they'd just be getting rid of it altogether.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think basically no one was using it, and it's just like more confusing stuff to add to your channel. So the more you can clean that up and just keep things that are actually important to the stream, the better.
For sure.
So.
For sure. Yeah, man.
Cool. Well, that's like most of the topics I saw. They announced TwitchCon. I forget the dates of that exactly, but it's in like the Bay Area, California or something.
Like San Jose or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
is it still in October?
I think so. I probably should pull up those dates, but that'll be exciting. That's not like really recent. I think they announced it like a month or 2 ago, but still a lot of people thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely worth going to. Like, we went to the last one. It was us, Dan the Dapper, and Hilda Torre, the TRUgaming full-time streamer. And holy shit, that was fun. It was just a blast.
It was really cool.
If any of you guys are thinking about going and happen to have the finances to do so, definitely go. 100%. If you can fork the cash over, definitely do it.
Oh man, yeah, it's really cool. The experience is crazy, just being there with so many other streamers who already know what Twitch is. So definitely see if you can do it. Okay, so I want to get into the live call-in. I'm going to check the Discord stuff because I want to make sure people are joining. Unfortunately, since we're doing the Discord video call, I can't like check without messing up all the video guys, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit here. but I'll see if I
have it
can.
up on
You
I
have
have
it
on my
up
phone
there
right now.
See, this is why I bring in the co-host here to help out with the things that I don't think about.
Yeah, man.
Let's,
I got you.
Yeah, let's check on the phone. That's a good idea. Yeah, so I should probably explain a little bit more. Again, people who are just tuning in, we have a Discord server for this show specifically. Please join that server if you haven't already. And there's a section called Live Topic Submission. And in that channel, you should post a question or a topic related to Twitch that you want to talk about on the show or have us debate and haggle over, basically. It could
Anything
be
Twitch related.
anything. It could be a question. So I'm working on this. I want to know how to be a better Fortnite streamer. I want to, whatever. I want to know how to set up a better green screen. Or it could be an opinion or a take, sometimes called. So I think Ninja got more success than he deserves for what he's done or something. Or I think that Dr. Disrespect shouldn't be streaming on Twitch. Those are really controversial, but it could also be like a more tame thing. Like, I think Twitch is going to become the next YouTube or something, and why you think that. So it could really be anything related to Twitch. We just want to get people on here to discuss it and talk about it. And again, you can live call in here and actually have your audio on the call this time. Or if you just can't get to the Discord for some reason, you can always type in chat to just bring your regular questions and tag @TRUgaming. We'll probably grab those between callers when we have a chance. So you're always free to tag us. Tag @TRUgaming today just because I'm on that channel. So yeah. Do you have anything you want to talk about, Devin?
I am actually curious on your stance on Ninja right now while we're waiting for something to come in. I know you want to talk about it with a viewer, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be wanting to talk about this if we get an actual discussion going.
Yeah.
What is your stance on Ninja?
So when you say stance, do you think you're talking
as a streamer on Twitch? Like, do you think he deserves the success that he has? Do you think that he's a good streamer? Like, just overall, like, what do you think of Ninja?
I think he is a great streamer. I think he does deserve the success he's had, for a lot of reasons. Basically, there's probably the impression that he came up really fast and just out of nowhere just exploded because, suddenly he's at 100,000 viewers, right? But that's not really the case of what happened. If you look at how long he's been on Twitch, he's been on there since, like Halo 2 days or something. Like,
yeah, it's been
Justin
a long
TV.
time.
He was on there in the very beginning. I heard him on a podcast talking about how he got the original name Ninja, which is just proof of how long he's been on the platform, right? I mean, you can't have a name like Ninja and have just gotten on Twitch. That's
100%.
You would have had to have that for years. But I think he's a really good work ethic. He talked about in some interviews how he would be at family parties or like Thanksgiving, and the rest of his family would be upstairs just doing Thanksgiving things, and he'd be down in the basement like grinding Halo, trying to get better. And his siblings would tell him like, hey, like, come on and let's go, see the uncles and aunts. And he'd be like, yeah, it's cool. I'll be here. I'll be grinding. So it's like, it's just a whole nother level that you never saw, right? Like, you could see him on the front page of Twitch now, just playing video games. It looks so easy. But the fact that he like gave up so much to get there in terms of sacrificing like time with his family. I don't know if you saw the thing with his retina. Did you ever hear about that?
No, I didn't.
So a couple years ago, he'd been streaming on Twitch for a while, had gotten a pretty good viewership base, and I guess his retina like detached from his eye, and so he couldn't play games because he can't see anything. He had to go into surgery, and forever he was out, so he couldn't stream, couldn't play games or anything. He lost almost all of his followers, all of his viewing, had to start from zero again, and just came back from all that. This was years ago now, so that's another factor. He also, I think, was probably the first person to really see the potential of Fortnite and stick to it and play it every single day when no one else wanted to. And just for all those reasons and more, I think he really deserves what he does, what he's gotten. And he's a really good public figure for Twitch, I think, just for personality.
100%.
How he takes his stream. He apparently, I've seen like different things on this, but apparently doesn't really curse anymore on stream or use things like that because he realizes with an audience that big, he is kind of responsible for being professional and just appealing to every audience, including kids. So he made a decision to cut that out except for celebrity stuff because he can't like tell Drake not to cuss. So
Yeah,
he's been
exactly.
wrestling with that. But I just think like the mentality and the dedication he has are amazing. So that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts there too? I know that's kind of a rant, but
No, that was good. I mean, you definitely answered everything that I was thinking. But yeah, kind of the same stance on everything. He's worked really hard to get where he's at. He's a great face for Twitch. You know, it's better than Dr. Disrespect, who, you know, has had some issues in his personal life and everything. And I think just having like a genuine, like real person like being like the main streamer right now, I think is huge. Like, because it's easy to put Dr. Disrespect up there, you know, like he's like this persona, he's a funny guy, he's really good at games, and he just puts on this great act. But like having someone who just genuinely cares about things, you know, like him and his Ninja and his wife sponsor an animal every every month, I think, and like they pay all of his vet bills and everything, and try to get it adopted by somebody, which is like, that's pretty cool. And obviously that's not very much money for him, you know.
Right.
He's making over 200,000 subs a month, but still, like he definitely seems like a genuine dude, and he worked really hard to get where he's at, and I think he definitely deserves it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So, okay, we do have a request from Susie QQ. I'm gonna see if this works here. It's probably gonna jack up the video a little bit here. I want to see if she's gonna respond to our video call. We will see. Potentially, I'm giving her a call now to see if she will pick up and ask the question on air. So yeah, Susie, I don't know if you're in the chat right now. I don't know if you can join right now. I would love to have you join in on the call and ask that question IRL.
Did it work?
Hey, there she is. Susie QQ, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing great. I'm debating asking this question that I hear other shows ask is, where are you calling from? I don't know if you want to share that or not.
Where am I coming from?
Calling from.
I'm in Wisconsin.
Hey, awesome. So, what did you want to talk about in the show today?
I was curious y'all's take on couple streams or a night dedicated to couple streams on a stream.
Okay, Belk, do you have any experience with that or thoughts on that?
I do not have any experience with couple streams. Like, I've had my wife come in and, you know, like play a couple rounds of like Five Nights at Freddy's or something like that before, but nothing consistently. Just because I don't know, like I don't have an issue with my wife being on my stream at all. It's just I want to make sure I'm solidifying my brand as being me. And I don't want there to be any confusion. I have no issues with, you know, my wife being on stream or anything like that, like I said, but it's just one of those things where like I want to make sure to keep the branding clear for everybody. Not, okay, is the stream Susie and her husband, or is the stream just Susie? And you know, that's the way I look at it. You just don't want to limit as much confusion as possible. That's my take on it, at least. So what do you think, Green?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. I don't have any experience with it myself either. I've never done it. I actually just don't really want to have my wife on the stream at all, for my reasons and her own. I think she doesn't want to be on there, so I never ask her to. For people who do have that kind of relationship, though, I think what you said is true. You have to be careful about it. You have to make sure that, you know, I was reviewing Susie's channel the other day, and it's kind of confusing in terms of knowing who the actual streamer was.
Right.
Whether, like, you know, those couples are always streaming together and every single time you come to the stream it's gonna be both of them, or if it's like more dominantly one person's channel. I guess just making sure you communicate that's really important, and making sure the viewer knows like what the channel is all about, that maybe occasionally there'll be streams with the other person, but mostly it's gonna be this person, or if you both stream at the same time on different channels but you both are on there, just communicating is the big piece of that, I think. So that viewers don't get confused, would be my thoughts. But I think it's a really cool thing you can do. Some people have done it really well. I'm trying to think. I saw a really good couple who, I think they're both on the same channel. And I've seen a few of these who you can really do it well. And I think some viewers really respond to having both people there. It can be really cool to see, like, you get involved in that family almost, because it's more than just one person. So I think it can be really cool personally, but it has to just lots of communication. Make sure people know what the channel is about, whether it's going to be both you the whole time or one or the other, I guess.
Like over communicate on that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Is that answer your question, Susie? Do you have anything else you want to add?
That does answer my question. We really enjoy it, but I think it is something that would maybe once a month or possibly something along those lines. He takes over the stream on Fridays, which I do communicate that because we have D&D night and he's the DM. So he's there for that, and everybody knows that so far. So hopefully that doesn't ever cause any confusion in the future.
Okay. Yeah. Then like I said, as long as you just keep communicating that and like using social media and stuff like that so people know ahead of time what to expect, I think that can be great. Do you think people have responded well to it so far?
Most of my viewers have really enjoyed it, but I can't say for people that didn't stick around, for some reason they didn't stick around. I don't know if it was because of that or something else.
Gotcha. Have you ever like reached out to them and asked them why?
There's been a couple of times where I have, and most of the time when I reach out, somebody said they really enjoyed it. They just couldn't stick around.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd say keep testing it. The important thing is if you really want to do it, if you really enjoy it, then keep doing it as long as you think it's working. The most important thing is to do what you like, and if you find that you can stream for a longer period of time or just, more over the years, if you're doing it with your significant other, then I say go for it. Do what you want to do.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Sure. Thank you for calling. All right. Cool. So actually, oh, darn it. I forgot. I got to move out of the car. There we go. Okay. So I have scenes set up now, so we won't have wacky video anymore, which is
nice.
Good. So thank you, Susie, for that question. That was awesome. Remember, guys, if you want to submit a question, just add it to the live topic list in the Discord, and I'll grab you if you're available. I see one from Affinity Chris. I'm going to see if I can add him as a friend really quickly and then pull him in here. So, have you guys heard about the Conan stream today? That's happening at 1 p.m. Maybe. Valak, do you want to talk a little bit about that for, your team captain and all?
Sure. So there's Conan Exiles, the game, is if you guys don't know about it, it's like an open world. It's kind of like a survival game, think like Ark or Rust or something like that. So they're hosting this event with Stack Up, which is an organization that provides video games to veterans all across the world. Try to help them de-stress from their day because obviously being in the military, you're stressed out, and then especially being like overseas, their day-to-day stress is ridiculous. So anything to try to help them relax a little bit. They're trying to provide video games for those veterans. So there's an event starting at 1 p.m. today Eastern Standard Time. Going until 1 p.m. on Sunday Eastern Standard Time, where there's going to be about 60 streamers. I'm not sure exactly how many teams it is, but I know I'm the captain of one team, and Sona Equation, which is the CEO of TRUgaming, is the captain of another team. And basically, it's just like a race to try to get you have to get everybody to level 60. You have to kill a giant monster, and then you have to get a legendary weapon. And then so we're going to be doing this all weekend. It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be great. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just really exciting stuff, so make sure to stay tuned, guys.
Heck yeah. Starting today at 1 p.m. Eastern, which will be about 2 hours after the show ends. So tune in for that, guys. It's going to be like front page time for Twitch and everything. So, And also, they sent us like 50 or something Conan codes to give away this morning.
Snap. Okay.
Yeah, check your email, bud.
I actually saw that. I saw something about that. Okay.
So if you guys want to win Conan Exiles, you have a good chance of getting it. But we have Affinity Chris on the show, I believe. Chris, are you there?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. Dude? Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from Chicago.
Ooh, nice. What did you want to talk about today, sir?
So I guess maybe this isn't as like how to be a better streamer, but it's more of a what do you think now that Twitch Pulse and the channel feed are being removed? I'm wondering what you guys think they could replace it with that might better facilitate streamers' needs.
That's a good question. Because channel Pulse and channel feed / Pulse, I don't think was that great. I think they were trying to copy other social media with that, and Twitch isn't the right place for it. In terms of what to replace it with, that's a harder question. Because I don't think Twitch even knows what to replace it with right now. So, I don't know. I would say, Devin, as someone who streams a lot, is there anything that you think Twitch is missing that you could use more of? I know Discord kind of fills like the community gap, but do you think maybe like I will say this. Okay, brief
Yeah,
tangent.
go ahead.
So, something I meant to mention in the news actually is Twitch has been sending out surveys recently. I don't know if you guys have got these, and they're trying to gauge basically satisfaction with a lot of things. One of those I've noticed is they had a lot of questions about perceptions of YouTube versus Twitch, and also Discord versus Twitch. Like how satisfied people are with Discord, how much they use it compared to the Twitch app. So I have a hunch that Twitch is kind of looking at Discord and trying to work with them a bit more because, Twitch released their own essentially version of Discord, which is like the Twitch desktop app, which I don't know a lot of people that actually use that just because Discord got there first, basically. In an ideal world, I would love to see Discord integration on Twitch instead of that channel feed. I think that's like the perfect solution. Mm-hmm. I don't see it happening just because Twitch and Discord have their rivalry, but maybe if they're looking to pick up Discord in the future, that could happen. I don't know. What do you think, Devin?
Yeah, I definitely don't think that Twitch and Discord will ever be like partnering together. I definitely see that Twitch is trying to do something like what Discord already has. I don't think it's going to work out, to be honest. It's the same thing as the channel feed and everything that we were just talking about. It's not going to work out because it's just not as user friendly. The functionality just isn't there. And I don't think I don't think Twitch should be trying to do anything related to social media. I think that they really just need to focus on what they're doing right now as a streaming service, and just buckle down on that for sure, because they're doing a great job of that. So they shouldn't try to put their hands in too many different baskets, I guess. I really like it's not the easiest thing in the world to have to like post to different multimedia platforms, social media platforms, sorry. But it's something that like it's not the biggest deal in the world to I got to post on Instagram and then I have to post on Twitter and now I have to post on Snapchat or anything like that. Like it's not convenient, but it's better than trying to go through something that doesn't have the functionality that all those things do.
Right. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Chris, do you have any ideas of your own that you think would be good for that?
I think the one place that, as a fresh Twitch streamer, like the place that I kind of look for maybe a little bit more would be in the communities. It seems like you kind of are expected to network or build those communities outside of Twitch. And so I almost wonder if there's maybe something more they can do to keep them within Twitch.
Yeah, as opposed to going to an external platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
Yeah, other than that, I totally agree. I mean, why compete with something like Twitter or Instagram, or Discord for that matter, if that's a better place to kind of build your own little community.
I just to kind of jump into that real quick, you were saying about networking. I think the best place to network is actually on Twitch. You can get some actual FaceTime with them. Like you can see what their stream is all about, which is the main point of what you're trying. Like you don't want to network with someone just because they're a streamer. You want to make sure you're checking out their stream. So this is just kind of getting into networking real quick. Definitely use your other social media platforms like Discord and everything to build a community. But as far as networking goes, that's something totally different. So like for me, I jump into a stream and try to see if I have a connection with that streamer, see if their stream is like actually entertaining to me. And if you can actually find a connection with them, then you can start, networking with them just by talking to them through their chat and everything. Because networking with the streamer from Twitter is like that. That's never really worked out too well for me. I think it did one time, and I got really lucky with that. But because DMing someone on Twitter doesn't really do the networking justice that you need. So I would definitely stick with Twitch as far as networking goes.
Maybe, you mentioned with Pulse at the start of the show that it doesn't really support a lot of external stuff. Like you can't put external YouTube videos or Instagram posts. Maybe that would be a cool idea, is having some sort of like streamer social feed there. So that you don't have to go to an external site to see it. So you could see like under the channel what the streamer is tweeting or posting on Instagram. Maybe that's a cool way to use it. I think maybe not like the best, but that could potentially be a solution. So cool. Well, Chris, anything you wanted to add to that before we move on here?
No, that was great. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thanks
man.
for coming on, dude. I appreciate it. All right. So moving on here, I saw one in the chat from Mr. Pure Instinct who is watching in the chat. He said he can't get in voice because of the day job, but a more in-depth social media question. Ooh. Do you think you should post something different on each channel when going live, like a different photo or GIF? Or should it be uniform across all of the platforms? What are your thoughts on that, Devin?
I think uniformity is probably good for that. Like, maybe use different hashtags, based on like what's popular that day on that platform itself. But I think having the same post looks clean, I guess, if it's on all platforms. Like having the same picture or GIF or anything like that. I usually try to stick with the same thing. Yeah, I mean, why not keep it the same? It makes it so you don't have to, like, if you have an idea for another post you want to make, like, just do that the next day or something, and just, yeah, I think one thing across all platforms is probably for the best. But definitely stick with the most popular hashtags on each individual platform. What do you think, Green?
Yeah, I would say it depends on what you're posting. Pictures are pretty much always good across everything. There are little minor things like the size of the image. I mean, on Instagram, it's nice to have a square one. On Twitter, it's nice to have more of like a video size, like 1920, 1080. If you're doing a video, it gets more complicated, I think. The best way I've seen to do it is you actually design the video for each platform. So Facebook and Instagram, square video is the best because it's the biggest thing you can put on there. It's kind of a pain in the butt to make. But if you're looking to like get the most out of every social media, I think that's the best way to do it. And then, for Twitter, it's more of that landscape, classic video shape. But if you're just looking for quick and dirty, I think pictures work across everything. GIFs work best on Twitter, I think. It's hard to post GIFs on Instagram and Facebook. Discord works with everything, of course. So I don't think it matters too much. If you're doing video, though, and you really want to just get the most potential out of it, I would say that's probably the way to do it. So thanks for the question, MPI. We do have Silent Ghost on the show now. Silent Ghost, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Where are you calling in from?
Calling in from the great state of Michigan.
Hey, we got a few Michigans here, I think.
Hey.
Michiganians or something.
Michiganders.
Silent Ghost, what did you want to talk about on the show today?
Well, it's actually kind of a personal issue for me because what I've been noticing lately is I'm struggling to try to grow my own channel, my own community. I am fighting through negativity that comes up from within myself from having dead chat, what seems to be no support from anywhere, and I'm not trying to say everybody should be coming to my channel. That's not it at all.
Right.
It's just those that are there, there's no one there talking. There's no one saying, hey, maybe if you try this and, whatever. It's just, how do you combat that? It's very hard to fight sometimes.
Right. So basically, starting to build a community, start to get growing on Twitch. How do you deal with so much negativity coming out of the chat and still stay motivated to stream? Is that right?
It's more like the self negativity.
Oh, okay.
Start feeling down because you have a dead chat.
So yeah, so dealing with that internally. After dealing with the negativity, how do you, kind of like you were saying, just not feel so bogged down inside, but still stay determined?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I would love to personally get Devin's thoughts on this because I think he's a good example of it, and I know he has experience with mental issues. So,
yeah, man. Like for me, I've had to build up my channel twice, man. So I definitely understand what it's like to have dead chat. It fucking sucks, for lack of a better way to say it, man. It's really rough, but when you're that early on with streaming, you shouldn't be streaming for chat. Which is like. Now, like, I'm at the point where I can stream, for my chat because I have chat to bounce off of every once in a while. But like when especially when it's that early on, you want to get as comfortable with just talking and you're basically just trying to make as much noise as possible until someone comes in and notices that you're making any noise. So any chat, as long as it's like any talking you do, as long as it's not, slander in any way, is better than not talking 100%. So like you just have to keep talking, just talk to yourself or, just describe what you're doing in the game. Just keep talking. Don't worry about, whether or not chat is there or like whether or not there's any chat or anybody responding or watching or anything. Just have fun with streaming, man. It's really, really easy to get down in the dumps about it. But if you want there to be chat, you can't let that take over. You have to try to find a way to be as positive as possible. And honestly, that's like, that comes from, you just have to enjoy streaming 100%, the downs, the ups, everything. So like, it's tough, man. It's really tough. I've had a lot of down times for streaming, and I even now I still do. You just have to you just got to push through, man. Just be the most energetic, loudest, happiest, and entertaining version of yourself as you can be, and don't worry about numbers, don't worry about chat or anything. The rest of it will follow as long as you keep your head straight.
Yeah, that's so good, dude. Silent, do you have a couple of consistent mods, or like maybe one or two viewers who are there who do have good attitudes and are kind of positive in your channel yet?
Honestly, the only mod I really have that's consistent would be my wife, but when people she likes to watch come on, I lose her. So, and like I said, I'm not trying to say people need to come to my channel and watch me or whatever, but if it'd be nice, of course.
Right.
But
Right.
you know, just I would like to have see where I can get myself mentally, really, because I do suffer from depression already.
Yeah, I would see.
How to fight that.
Yeah, that is tough. I would say it's kind of on your own. You have to find what works for you, for sure. For me, I know having people who are positive around me helps a lot, and I know they're not easy to find. But maybe trying to just make a few connections with like one or two people who you know are never going to be negative, who are going to be positive, and just be like that extra bit of motivation for your stream. That's the approach I would take. Just focusing on everything on like one or two people who you want to have, not even just like to get them in your stream, as much as just like making good Twitch friends who will want to just come out and watch you naturally, who you know will be positive and never say anything negative to you. I think that's like the best way to start. And then that will slowly build and build over time. Because if you build the foundation with positive people, you'll tend to attract more positive people. So that's the best thing I would say. Again, it's sort of different for each person, where you kind of get your motivation from, whether it's from other people or really internally. If it's an internal thing, that could kind of be a different thing where you need to maybe just look up. For me, it's, you know, listening to podcasts and things that like hype me up and make me motivated to do things. But you kind of have to find what that is for you, whether it's music or whatever. It's different for everybody. Yeah, Gary Vee could be that. Music does it for me too. Finding what it is that gets you excited, and that makes you want to be positive, I think, is the big thing for me. So is that helpful at all, hopefully?
Very much so, and thank you.
Awesome, man. Anything else you want to add before we move on?
What was that again?
So is there anything else you want to add before we move on?
No, there isn't.
Awesome. Thank you for calling in, dude. I appreciate it.
Thanks, bro.
Sweet. All right. This is going pretty well. I think it's working.
Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah, it's really cool. Thank you guys all for calling in so far, and for adding topics. We have a few others still to add in here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and grab the next person, which is OZTV. We'll see if he is around to join in here. Check with Ozy. Always get the video. Look at Ozy.
Guys, how you doing?
What's up, Mike?
How's it going, dude? You can actually see him on the stream right now because I don't have a 3 cam setup supported, but maybe next time I'll get that. But we can see
that's
him.
a fail. That's a fail.
Where are you calling in from today, Ozy?
I am calling in from Philadelphia, home of the Super Bowl champion Eagles.
Hey, Eagles.
Hey, Eagles, man. You got to get that John in if you're from Philly.
That's
By
right.
the way, you guys are the sexiest men I've ever seen. Do you know that?
What? Yeah.
What?
No, I was actually talking to that poster right behind you.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
My bad.
for
My
sure.
bad.
So what did you want to talk about on the show today, sir?
So yeah, I got a question for y'all. So, you know, as a streamer, you want to like grow your network and whatnot. And, you know, there comes a point in time where you're like, you know, maybe I can, you know, work with a company and get sponsorship. You know, I know TRUgaming does sponsorships, but it's kind of like an open call for sponsors. But maybe you got like this company that you really dig and you're like, man, I'd really like to, you know, form some kind of partnership with them. How do you guys like go about crafting an email or a call to like cold approach them and say, hey, this is what I do. I think we could be a really good fit. You know, we could, you know, really work together and, you know, help each other out. I can help you get your brand out there. You know, you can give me, you know, a cool logo or, you know, just that, that little check mark of verification of, hey, look at me. I'm legit because I have, you know, Billy Bob's Bait and Tackle Shop as my sponsor.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. We covered it a little bit with actually the Funcom guys, funny enough, on the second podcast episode we did in the show. But real quick, some of the things that, you know, so I work on the company side of this more often than the streamer side. And I've talked to a few other people in the space do that as well. The biggest thing I'd say is don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid because you only have 100 followers or 200 followers to reach out and email somebody. You'd be surprised the size of your audience you need to be able to get stuff like that. It's probably a lot smaller than you think. And Devin's shaking his head as if he's had some experience here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, first of all, don't be scared and just go for it, first of all, and do it many times if you need to. Don't be afraid to don't spam every day with the same thing, but don't be afraid to ask a few times and keep coming back for it. Second thing, weirdly specific, but make sure that your email on everything is the same as, so if you're going to email somebody, let's say you're emailing Funcom, make sure you're emailing them from the same email that's on your Twitch and your YouTube and your Twitter, because they will actually get a lot of fake people who will basically like pretend to be someone like, oh, I'm Dr. Disrespect and I'd love to rep your channel. And it's not actually Dr. Disrespect, it's somebody else trying to take advantage of that. So this is something that, like, if you're a smaller streamer, it doesn't even cross your mind, because it's like, well, who would pretend to be Veloc TV? That's just stupid, right? You would think.
Dude,
but
I would in a heartbeat. Have you looked at the man?
But it happens more than you think. So that is something that developers and just industry people in general look a lot for. So make sure you do that. Other than that, I would say make a case for yourself on why you can really help the company, which is something you kind of have to come up with. Whether you have a lot of experience in that one game, you have access to a particular audience that can really reach. Looks like Veloc has, I don't know if he's reading something in chat or something, but
Yeah.
But yeah, basically just make a convincing argument, which is pretty basic, on why you think make sure you talk about why you can help them, not just what you get out of it, because you'd be surprised the amount of people who will apply like to sponsorships with us, for example, and say, like, you know, there's a question, why do you want to be sponsored? Well, I think it would be awesome. I think it'd be really fun for me. It'd be great. I would love it. Like, okay, but why do we want to sponsor you is the real question there, right?
Right.
It's like, yeah, we're not just all about giving you a fun time, making your life great. You got to give us something too. So
Right. And I guess that's kind of more where my question's going, you know, maybe this is better for you, Ben, you know, when you're receiving these emails, are there certain things you're looking for in them, you know, other than, hey, I'm a streamer, sponsor me or work with me? Are you looking for, like, you know, I have X amount of followers, this is my schedule, you know, there's got to be some kind of hard metric you guys are looking for. Does that make sense?
Well, it's different. I mean, sponsorship applications have like distinct criteria that's laid out.
Right.
So that's very rigid. We actually don't get a lot of emails outside of that asking for stuff, whether it's, you know, to get a game store to work with or whatever, because a lot of that's encompassed in sponsorship, but that's also just a sign that I think just being someone to go out there and send an email already puts you ahead of so many people, because so few people do it. So that's why the biggest thing is just go do it regardless. Even like ignoring the second and third advice, just at least send an email, because you got to start somewhere. Yeah, that'd be what I have to say on that. Devin, you want to add anything? Do you have any experience with that?
I haven't really tried to get any sponsorships aside from obviously TRUgaming. And that one, I mean, you guys reached out to me. I was like really excited. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to apply for this. Like, hopefully I get it. But one thing to remember is don't worry about a sponsorship as validation for yourself. Don't worry about anything validating you that's not you. You need to validate yourself as a streamer, and that'll, like, just you being a confident streamer is way more important than having someone sponsor you as a streamer. I could have Control Freak up on my stream if I wanted to. You know what I mean? I could have like I could like, I don't apply for sponsorships. I don't like, it'd be cool if I like went to apply for Razer and they were like, oh yeah, dude, for sure. But I'm not gonna do that. Like, I want to validate, like, this is my opinion, and there's nothing wrong with other opinions on this, obviously. But make sure to validate yourself as a streamer to yourself and then other people will, start to notice that. And so eventually, like, if people think that you think you're a confident streamer, like, you're going to get more followers, more viewers, you're going to get better numbers, and eventually take those viewers and those numbers and show them off to everyone. Like, hey, look at me killing it. I verified myself as a streamer, instead of like going out, like I said, there's nothing wrong with this. But I definitely totally think you should be applying for sponsorships. Apply for as many sponsorships as you want. Like Green was saying, just send them out. Be confident in yourself with that, but don't worry about rejection. Like, a sponsorship has nothing to do with you being a good streamer or a bad streamer. You just having the confidence on stream is the most important thing, 100%.
No, I dig that, and maybe validation was the wrong word. Maybe
No, I
maybe
what you're
it's,
trying to say.
yeah, it's that like that little uplift of maybe this is dovetailing on
It's
what
like
Sal
encouragement,
was,
for sure.
yeah, what like
It
Sal
really
was
is.
saying. Sometimes you're a smaller streamer and you're like, man, I'm just so small. There's no way I'd get this when you got your Dr. Disrespects out there, and
For sure.
your Kickstars and whatnot, and you're like, man, if I'm honest, and I'm going to be brutally honest, am I ever going to get to that level? Hell no. Do I want to get to that level? No. I'm way too lazy for all that work. I'll be honest with you. But there is some. I would like to have like Billy Bob's Bait Tackle and Nuclear Weapons logo on my stream, because I think it'd be a cool thing. It wouldn't be validation. It would be me bringing a value add to my community of a product that I believe in and that I use. Obviously,
For
I
sure.
don't want to pimp out George's Bait Shack when I think the worm's stuck. I want to go to Billy Bob, and I want to bring that value in, my opinion, and influence, if that's even a thing, to my community, and hopefully turn them onto a product or a service that they haven't even thought they might need.
Yeah, one note with that specifically, if you're going for a brand that hasn't actually worked with Twitch streamers before, or in this case, I would imagine a bait and tackle shop probably hasn't really worked with social media people in general at all. So you're gonna have
You'd
to
be surprised, man.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But you're probably gonna have to do a little bit more explaining than usual, just in terms of what Twitch is, what your audience is like, how you'd be able to actually reach out to them and generate some business for them, because that's what they're gonna look for at the end of the day.
Right.
So,
Okay. No, man,
cool.
that's
Anything else you want to add to that?
I love you guys.
Love you too, man.
Me too. See you, man. See ya.
Later.
All right. Thanks for the question, Ozzy. It's cool to have some video in there too. Saw a question in the chat that I want to address because I was actually about to talk about this. Silent Ghost, who was just on the show, he said, have you folks thought of trying to bring an affiliate program? It is a way to get name out there and possibly generate more site hits and sales, but not having to give away as much. So yes, we actually have an affiliate program in the works, and the plan is to launch it at when we respond to sponsored stream applications. Basically, if anyone doesn't get accepted as a sponsored streamer, they'll probably get accepted as an affiliate. If you'd like to be an affiliate, you'll still have the option to accept that and everything. And it probably won't be just to absolutely everyone, but the requirements can be very low relative to sponsored streamers. And it's ideally going to be open to most of the community for anyone who's been involved in it, because we have so many people who already are so involved in True. And we'd love to just give back to you guys and let you be able to rep us at things without being a full-on sponsored streamer and all that. So that's coming soon. By the way, anyone else in the chat who has a question for me, make sure you tag at TRUgaming, because I probably won't see it otherwise. Because if you do that, it shows up in big bright red and I can't miss it. So yeah. Okay, so it is 11. Devin, I know I told you this would go till about 11 or so. Do you have
totally
more time?
good, man.
Okay, awesome. I'll grab. I think we have Tom Cruise Mom Shoes, which is the coolest name I have ever heard. He's not my friend yet. Okay, I have to add him as a friend really quick, and then we can bring him on the show. Devin, you have any plans for your stream in the next month or so? I know you have Funcom stuff coming up today, but
right, I got the Funcom stuff this weekend. I want to think about doing like a 24-hour. And I don't know if that's going to happen this month, but I do want to do a 24-hour stream soon. I don't know what it's going to be yet. But I have been considering doing another event because the 12-hour went really well. We got something from GamerDad, it looks like, real quick.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, one in the chat from GamerDad. He said, well, hold on. Before we do this, we need to probably hit Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise can't join video call, which is fine, voice video. So we'll just go over his in chat really quickly. he was wondering if we could discuss our thoughts on having browser tabs / lurk windows open for streamers you like to support or friends, etc. So basically leaving your browser open but not really watching the stream, so that you're just adding that one viewer count to, potentially many people at once who you can't be able to watch the whole time, but you're giving them that viewer. What are our thoughts on that? Velk, do you have general thoughts on that?
I mean, if you actually enjoy that streamer and you want to support them, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I've had people do it, and I appreciate it. I mean, if you're trying to show support for that streamer, I mean, every view counts. And you might not be able to watch, and it sucks that you're lurking and you're not actually there. I understand that, but just the fact that you want to support a streamer like that is awesome, and I'm sure almost every streamer will appreciate it, because it's an extra number, it's an extra view that gets you just a little bit higher up on the directory, and that just gets you more eyes on your channel before they click on it. So that's the way I look at it. Yeah,
absolutely. I think especially for smaller streamers, every little viewer counts, because especially if you're trying to get affiliate or something, I think that is the best way to get affiliate. It's just that literally have 3 people ask to just pull up your stream and leave it open, and then boom, you've got the requirements done. Also, just for getting 75 even, 75 is not really that big of a number when you break it down to that. Just having one more person leave their channel up is one person closer to 75. So especially for anyone who's small, it's gonna make a big difference. And then also marathon events. We have done these charity streams for 60 plus hours in a row, all on the same channel, and leaving your client or your window up on that channel really helps just keep the hype over the whole weekend. Even if you want to go to sleep, even if you want to, go do something else and can't watch, just having that open can still really help out, in the background, which is pretty cool. So.
Yeah, lurkers run Twitch, so
yeah,
almost every viewer is a lurker, it seems like.
It's true. So keep doing it. It's our thoughts on it. Going back to that one from GamerDad, he said, well, again, quickly before we get to GamerDad, we will get to GamerDad, I promise. But for anyone who would like to ask their question on air and kind of talk more in depth about it with us, remember to go to our Discord, drop it in the live topic discussion channel, and we will pull you in to the actual call so you can talk about it on the microphone. So yeah, but GamerDad asked, apart from partnership, what big long-term goals do you have for the stream itself? I think that's mostly for you. Okay.
Obviously I would like to be partnered 100%. Some other goals that I would like is I honestly, man, I really want this to be my full-time job 100%. I'm not 100%, I'm not gonna be sad if it never happens. I have so much fun with this, even if it's not my full-time job in the future. I'm still gonna be doing this because I love it. I love the people that are in my community. I love TRUgaming. I love all of them. It's just I have a lot of fun with doing this, and hell yeah, I definitely want this to be a full-time thing. I definitely want to make money from this 100%. But the main thing that I want out of my stream is I just want a community of people, and I already have that. So if I can just keep growing the community of people, even if it never becomes a full-time thing, just having that, just having a cool group of people that I can hang out with, and that supports each other, not just me, the way that it's been going in my channel, that's exactly how it is, and it's great. But long-term goals is definitely full-time streaming 100%. I don't like working for other people.
Yeah, I feel that too, man. That's really what I envy about streamers. Just the kind of entrepreneurship behind streaming is really cool. So eventually being able to scale that to the point where you can just stream and basically make enough to support yourself would be so cool.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, for the TRUgaming channel in general, I say this because my personal channel, I've just decided I'm never going to get to the point where I'm going to be consistent really just with where my life is going. I use my personal channel just for when I have time and doing miscellaneous things related to StreamKey mostly. The TRUgaming channel is really my big focus and helping grow that and build that into a big community. Like you mentioned, GamerDad, partnership is sort of the de facto goal for everybody. But for the TRUgaming channel in particular, we really want that to be a community hub where you can go every day and someone's going to be on, that something related to the community is going to be happening. and hopefully we'll get more events and things happening on there soon. I would love to have like a weekly tournament on there, or maybe even weekly charity streams once we grow the team even more. Just having weekly events that that like this community is always doing something every day at this time. I think that's like the ultimate goal for the channel. So that's what I would say on that matter. So Tom Cruise asked, if you get a chance, quick summary on what your job is, how long you've done it, and your thoughts on where TRUgaming is going. I guess this is for me. So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, in addition to being the host of StreamKey, this podcast, I am the media and marketing director for TRUgaming. And it's kind of a long-winded answer, but TRUgaming started as a voice and game server hosting company in 2016. And over time, we developed this huge community in Discord primarily, but also on Twitch, of streamers, of people who love Twitch streaming. And of course, we all love streaming and Twitch here at the office. So this year we launched TRUstreaming, which Velok here is a part of, which basically is going to be your one-stop shop for improving your stream in every aspect. To start that, we are launching with True Coaches right here. So Velok will be coaching other people on Twitch about ways to improve, just getting a second pair of eyes on your channel, nitpicking like the things that other people won't tell you, and really giving you strategies to grow every day on Twitch. We have four other coaches right now who will be doing the same thing, and then also an artist. Artists will be, if you're familiar with graphics on Twitch, making icons, overlays, banners, videos, etc. You can get all of that through TRUstreaming as well. So that's what I kind of do now, is focus more on that side. I do all the social media for everything TRUgaming. So TRUgaming and TRUstreaming, I do, every social media out there. I do this podcast. The podcast is sort of like a passion project of mine that's really come out. I also do the marketing and paid advertising, stuff like that. Making lots of images lately. It feels like that's all I've done this week. So I draw lots of pretty pictures. That's my job pretty much. So I do most of the marketing effort. I'm sort of the unofficial community manager because we don't really have one. Doc kind of helps me with that too, and we all do that to a degree. So that's like a quick and dirty run of everything I do at TRUgaming mostly. Also, because there's so few of us here in the office, we all kind of will cover whatever needs to be done. So if like something comes up, like this morning, emails weren't working for some of our coaches, so we had to cover that. So lots of putting out fires and things like most startups do. So hopefully that answers your question, Tom Cruise. I don't think I've ever actually talked about that on the show before too much. So appreciate the question. I'm going to check Discord really quickly. You're laughing about something over here. I can hear it.
No one ever actually asks you what you've done. It's just kind of funny. Like, Green's just a guy. You just see him sometimes.
Just a dude.
Sits in an office.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I just sit with this white wall behind me at all times.
He just sits there. When he's not on his podcast, he's just
staring at the white wall. Yep. Just waiting 3 days till I go live. I don't see any more topics, guys. Please, if you have a question you'd like to ask on the show live, that's the whole idea of this episode, is doing live call-ins. Join our Discord server. I will spam it again for anyone who maybe didn't join yet. And in the live topic submission area, drop your topic or question that you'd like to talk about. It doesn't have to be a question. It can be a take on something related to streaming as well. So we would love to talk about
Bubbly says she didn't get an answer?
Dan stream live call-ins. So join the Discord and you can ask your own little questions with us.
Bubbles, can you re-ask your question, please? I'm sorry, I missed it. I can't find it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see it in the live topic thing. I don't know. Maybe she asked it somewhere else. Maybe she asked it in general? No. I'm not sure.
Oh, you respond. Okay. She was responding to something I said. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, yeah, guys. This is we've never done this topic format before. I kind of took some inspiration from another podcast to listen to, but I think it's really cool to have you actually come on the show and be able to hash out ideas. I would actually love to talk more about opinions on things too, as opposed to just questions, because we're always happy to help you out with if you have questions you want answered and real specific feedback and advice. But I think it'd be really cool to have some kind of debate and different topic discussion on like we talked about earlier, like thoughts on Ninja, whether he's good or bad for Twitch overall. Maybe like Fortnite, what you think about Fortnite on Twitch, whether it should be gone. People hate Fortnite, people love Fortnite. I would love to have debates about things like that and get more kind of like rich and gritty discussions on that. So
let's get some arguments going.
Yeah, let's get some fights, chat. Let's do some fights. I see White Shadow's typing in the chat right now, so we might have one in a sec. And again, if you are in the chat, you can still ask questions. Just tag at TRUgaming so I don't miss it in bright red.
And we'll tell you why you're wrong. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Fight
exactly.
Me. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Pineapple on pizza.
We launched the True Streaming beta yesterday, by the way, guys. For anyone who applied to be part of the beta, that started yesterday. Really going to start more today once we get all the email stuff worked out, because there was all sorts of drama with that. But yeah, it's really exciting. If you guys don't know what it is, just check out TrueStreaming.tv and you can find out more. All right, I see one from White Shadow. I'm going to grab him. I don't know if Velox laughing at a question or just
Tom Cruise just asked a random ass question. It got me.
Oh yeah.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. White Shadow. White Shadow, where are you calling in from, sir?
Calling in from my apartment, man.
Charlotte.
Yep.
I'm just gonna go ahead and tell the audience where you're from.
Street address. Go.
Doxing White Shadow here on Stream Key, ladies and gentlemen. No, so what would you like to talk about on the show today?
Okay, so with the rise of other streaming services such as like Facebook Live, Mixer, and Google and other companies like that investing literally millions into the streaming services and getting in on that slice of pie that Twitch has, where do you think the streaming market will become more saturated, or do you think it's better for us as streamers? And what are your thoughts on it?
Interesting. Ooh.
That's a big one, isn't it?
It is a big one. That's a good one. I don't know. I think live streaming video is definitely trendy right now, and everyone's trying to get a piece of it for sure. Your question is specifically what it means for us on Twitch, basically, as Twitch streamers?
Yeah, as streamers in general. For us.
So it depends. I think game streaming is always going to be, Twitch is always going to be the flagship of that. I don't see anything coming close to competing. Mixer has got some attention, but for me, Twitch was the first one there. Twitch is always going to be the first one to hold it in people's minds. So I don't really see, even from like Facebook, Facebook of course is huge, so they have that going for them, but they're still, I don't know, it's this marketing principle that if you have a concept, right, if a brand gets something first, they will always be known for it the most, generally. Like Coke, for example, is known as like the cola soda or whatever. Pepsi is a great competitor, right? But Coke is like the de facto cola soda. And I mean, do you guys ever see that changing? Like ever? Do you think Pepsi's ever going to become bigger than Coke?
Probably not.
No. So that's my thoughts with Twitch, right?
Okay.
Even if Mixer becomes like this amazing, same example. If Pepsi somehow became like the healthiest soda and still tasted amazing and was just like in every way better than Coke, I still think Coke would be better because Coke got there first. So that's how I see Twitch.
Okay, but on the flip side of that, what if doesn't Twitch have to stay on top of their game?
Of course. I mean, Twitch can't just do nothing.
Yeah.
No, I would not say that, but I don't think that anyone's going to be able to come and beat them at the game streaming market.
Gotcha.
Now, live streaming in general is different because Twitch is not the de facto live streaming site. I think it's the game streaming site. So, to answer your question, I think it's actually going to be good for Twitch streamers, the fact that so many places are getting into live streaming, because now all these people will be exposed to live streaming overall. People on Facebook who will now see that live streaming is a thing, Instagram, whatever. They know live streaming exists. And now they'll be more receptive to game streaming because it's not so far of a jump to go from like nothing to game streaming. Now you go from live streaming to game streaming. And so it sounds kind of like out there and crazy marketing crap, but basically I think it's going to get more eyes on game streaming in the long run, is my thoughts on that. So
That's what I think as well, but I wanted to know everybody else's thoughts on it.
I
What do you
think,
think, Polak?
I think so. Like being first has like it's a pretty big deal, but you got to remember like it's all about like branding. So like and like what the company stands for and everything, and like so like Twitch has like this awesome community of people, like not just the streamers or anything, but the people that are just on Twitch every day
Mhm.
are generally very very positive. Love spreading people that just want to support Twitch in any way that they can. Whereas like Mixer, you go to that and like primarily the people that go to Mixer, like the streamers at least, are the ones that like they're trying like some of them are the ones that are like, well, I'm not getting the views that I want on Twitch, so I'll just go try this other service where I'm getting more views. And so they're not really like, I'm not gonna ever switch to Mixer because I really like the community of people that are on Twitch. I think that Twitch stands for some really cool things. I think everything's just going really well over here. Like I might be able to get more views somewhere else, but to me, it's not worth it. Twitch did do it first, but I don't think that has the most to do with it. As far as like look at PUBG. PUBG came out before Fortnite.
Mhm.
But Fortnite is killing it, and that's because they know their audience. They have a good backing of people behind them, and they're just making all the right moves. And I think Fortnite will continue to be way more prominent than PUBG in the future, just because they've been making a lot of really good decisions, and they know how to brand themselves for sure. And I think
true.
Twitch also knows how to brand itself for the most part, aside from like a couple mishaps with, the feed that we were going over earlier, turbo and all that stuff. Aside from those little things that they're trying to just kind of stick their toes into a little bit, I think they know what they're doing, and I think they know where they're heading.
Agreed.
Awesome. White Shadow, anything you want to add to that before we move on here?
No, that about answered my question for me. Thanks,
awesome,
guys.
dude. Thanks for calling
Appreciate
in,
it.
and we'll get you on
problem.
the show sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
I miss your voice already.
So,
I love
yeah.
you.
He is a coach as well, guys. If you want to work with him or Velok, you can do that on our website. So, okay, a few things I see in the chat. Dan's stream is asking about North versus South Korea stuff. Let's try and keep the questions related to Twitch chat and not turn this into a political debate talk show. If you can somehow integrate it with Twitch stuff, maybe we'll talk about it, but that just seems like totally out of left field. So I'm going to ignore that one for now. Gamer Dad did have a question though, I think. Or did Tom Cruise have a question that you would actually answer?
It wasn't a real question.
No.
So
Okay.
I'll go back. You want to hear it real quick? Because it might make you laugh.
Sure. I could use a laugh.
It was thoughts on if you'd fight a horse-sized duck or 50 duck-sized horses. And like, you don't have to answer it, but that was why I was laughing so hard.
That's a tough choice, man. I don't know. Duck sized. That's some big ducks. There's some small horses. All right. Moving on here. I saw one in the chat from Gamer Dad. He said competitive gaming versus casual gaming. Thoughts on content, looking for benefits and downsides to both. Interesting. Velok, do you consider yourself a competitive or a casual gamer?
Casual for sure. I used to play CS:GO strictly and only CS:GO, and like I would try to kind of do it casually, but when you're playing CS:GO like matchmaking or ESEA, it's really hard to not be competitive. Cons to being a competitive streamer, you're going to be focusing a lot more on the game than you would if you're more casual.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to be interacting with chat as much, which could also be beneficial in the sense that if someone wants to watch competitive, you're a competitive streamer, if someone's trying to get better at something, then they're going to go watch a competitive streamer over, a chill streamer. So watching like someone with a competitive nature is always really fun in its own way. And then on the flip side, having a chill streamer or a casual streamer, you're not going to see high octane gameplay by any means. Like if you go into my stream, you're not really going to see me win too many games of Fortnite. Like maybe one a week if I'm lucky, because most of the time I'm looking at chat or I'm playing some music or something. Something like nothing. I'm not 100% focused on the game at all. Probably not even 50% focused on the game, to be honest. Because I'm just hanging out, I'm having fun, trying to create the next meme however I can, and it's just there's ups and downs to both. I don't think one's dominant over the other. It just depends on what you're comfortable with, for sure.
Yeah. I think on the other side, I'm probably a pretty competitive streamer most of the time in terms of the games I play. I get way into them, and True Mama makes fun of me because I just sit there, like really zoomed in on stuff, focused.
Right.
You nailed it pretty much. I'll say, as a competitive streamer, pros are that if you're good at a game already, then people already want to watch you because they want to watch competitive streamers who are good. So if you're naturally good, then you naturally have an advantage. But that goes both ways. If you're bad and you want to be a competitive streamer, then you might not get watched. And if you have like a bad day, for example, if maybe you are usually performing at a really high level, but one day you're just not feeling it, then you're going to struggle because, I mean, people want to see you do well. They're not going to come to your stream to watch you feed for 3 hours. So that's what I'd say for the professional side or the competitive side. Generally, I would say it kind of depends on what you're like as a person, which is natural. If you are competitive by nature and you're pretty good at a game, then you might find competitive streaming easier because you'd rather focus on the game and play really well than try and entertain a chat when that's not really your personality. But if you're more of a casual person and you love entertaining the chat, then you don't have to worry about being good because people want to see you be entertaining, not be good. So
right,
that's what I would say. Just pick one or the other and don't, I mean, you can do a little bit of both, but don't feel like you have to be entertaining the chat if you'd rather just be playing really well, because you could just do that and not worry about entertaining. So that's my thoughts on that. All right, so nearing hour and a half mark now. I'd love to get like one more audio caller if someone's interested. Remember to join the Discord.
Go longer if you need. It's totally fine.
Oh yeah,
so you know.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Well, as long as there are questions, we'll keep them coming. I don't see any in the Discord right now. Again,
Bubbles
guys,
has one.
Bubbles, does she want to call in or just?
I think she's at work, so I don't know if she'd be able to call in.
Okay.
It wasn't a serious question. Oh, okay. Never mind then. All right, Bubbles, fine.
No worries. Well, actually, no. I did see one from Bubblies. She said she's very bad at games, but she loves streaming. Do you think playing Fortnite is acceptable? If you're bad at Fortnite, but you love playing it, should you still stream it?
Bubbles is actually one of my viewers, and so she already knows that like you can be as bad as you want at a game and still play it if you just want to stream it and have fun. Like for me, like I think I offer something a little bit different than most of the people in the Fortnite directory. I'm not saying I'm like the next biggest thing by any means, but like, you know, everybody wants to be the next ninja. Everybody wants to be really good at the game, but I don't really try to be that good at the game anymore. I just want to entertain people and have fun and just chill, and I think that offers something a little bit different in Fortnite, in the Fortnite directory at least, because not everybody's doing that. So, I mean, definitely, whatever you want to play, as long as you're having fun with it, go do it, for sure. I mean, put something different in that directory.
I now realize that was a subtle jab at you as a supposedly Fortnite streamer who's not very good.
No, that's totally fine.
So kudos on that, Bubblies. I did see one from Dan Stream, has a real question now that's not related to South Korea, North Korea apocalypse. So he said, thoughts on saturation of high viewer streamers and people thinking that because they have high viewers, it's causing them to get low view count. Interesting. I'm trying to understand that question a bit.
Whereas they might not be entertaining. He added like a little tidbit at the end of it. So I think he's saying that like they get higher viewers, so they're less entertaining. Like because chat's so is that he says call him on Discord.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, we can call Dan. I didn't realize he wanted to be in here. Dan Stream. He changed his name from Dan Games, so I didn't realize. Let's pull in Dan. Let's get some expansion on the thoughts here. What's up, Dan?
You got, Mike?
I was just going to say, like, for example, where people think that because Ninja is like at like 150,000 viewers that they can't get viewers because he's like taking all the viewers from that category.
Oh, okay. So
whereas like the truth would be like the person might not be entertaining, or people might just enjoy Ninja's content better than theirs.
Gotcha.
Well,
so basically the idea that they think Ninja is stealing all the viewers, right? Like, oh, Ninja streamer.
Or like
so
anyone like Soda Poppin' or Ice Poseidon or whatever from IRL, or
right,
people,
basically
anyone that's like the highest in that category.
Yeah. So I'll talk first. I have like pretty distinct opinions. I think this is like the most BS excuse ever, The idea that like there are a limited number of viewers on Twitch and, well, somebody has all the viewers, so I won't get any, so I won't stream. Like that's just so wrong, the mentality there. And like you said, right, the idea that people are trying to make excuses when they're not accounting for the fact that it might actually just be bad streamers and it's not the system stacked against them.
I just don't think it's like about being like good or bad streamers. I just think that like a lot of time people don't have the chat to bounce off of.
Right.
Which is like higher tier streamers can like obviously talk to chat and ask questions, but like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I think that's like anything, right? People make excuses saying, well, if I had that, then this would be easy, man. Like same thing with like, if I were a girl, I could just stream with my shirt off and get 1 million viewers. Like people will say whatever to try and make excuses for why they're not executing. So I just think it's just BS, and people like, just go do it, man. Just everybody to start there. Ninja didn't have 100,000 viewers when he started. He had 1 viewer, and
I think the big thing is to be consistent with your streams.
Yeah, of course. But also, like in that specific scenario, to realize that everyone started from 1. Like, yes, Tim the Tatman has 15,000 viewers now that he can bounce off of, but he didn't when he started, and neither do you. So, what did he do that you can go do when he was at 1 viewer? That's my feel. I feel really outspoken about that because I just have no patience for people who make excuses for why they can't start.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree.
I've been holding my thoughts in on this 100%. Like, you can't blame anybody else for your stream not being where you want it to be. You just can't. I'm not saying, Dan, that you are. I'm just speaking in generality. I'm just speaking to people. I'm saying that like, it's so easy just to be, and like it's happened to me before, man, to be honest. Like the reason why I had to restart my stream is because I got down in the dumps that someone else was doing better than me, and I had lost all my viewers, and I was like, well, this sucks. And then I stopped streaming consistently, and then eventually I'm like, why am I feeling like this? Like, I'm just gonna go out there and be happy for people that they're doing so well, but I'm gonna be competitive, and I'm gonna want to kick their ass at numbers. You know what I mean? Like like it's awesome that like, you know, that I'll use I guess Snoop Hogg, you know, one of the True fan members. It's awesome that he's getting the viewers that he is, and like, or I'll say, or anybody. It's awesome that anybody's getting the viewers that they are. You know, I'll use Snoop or whatever. Like, you know, today he got or yesterday I think he got to like 15 or 20 viewers or something, or the other day, and you know that's awesome. Nice. But like, I'm gonna be like, that's good for him, but now I have to go crush him. I need to step my shit up. You know what I mean? And like, you can't go into a director or into streaming at all and be like, oh, Tim's getting this many viewers, he's going to be taking them all. Well, be better than Tim. And I'm not saying I'm better than Tim or better than anybody, but I'm going to try my fucking hardest. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to kick ass, like beginning to end. And then if I didn't do a good stream, if I didn't have the viewers that I wanted, it's not Tim the Tatman's fault. It's not the chat's fault. It's because I just need to step my shit up more.
I think the thing with that is that like, if you're having that problem with like low viewer count, figure out a way that you can like make yourself more distinct and like add something to your stream. You know what I mean? Like, you like, I'm not even trying to like crap on you, Vlog or whatever, but like, you may not be like the best at whatever game, but the reason why people watch you is because they go to watch you for like how entertaining you are, how funny, like the jokes, the memes, everything.
Right, you know what I mean? For sure. And like, that's something that like I totally understand about my channel. I'm not a good gamer. I'm entertaining, energetic, and very loud person, and so people like that. They don't come to my channel to watch me go be global elite in Counter-Strike. You know what I mean? If I am playing Counter-Strike, they're there watching so I can flashbang my teammates, and they, you know, all my teammates get pissed. Like, you just have to know what you're good at, and you have to stick with it, and you just have to be as different as possible, and just give it your all every fucking day, and not blame another person for it. I get really heated about this. I'm sorry. Just don't blame anybody else. It's not worth it. Be happy for other people, and just go kick ass. Go crush it every fucking day. Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for calling, dude. Man. I appreciate
Have
it.
a good stream.
That's a great one. See, that's the kind of stuff I love having.
That got me pumped, dude.
Let's get more stuff like this, guys. Get us fired up here. Give us some controversial stuff.
Question. As a new streamer, I found times when I really want to stream, but I find myself unmotivated to go hit that live button. Any advice for getting over that hump?
Who's that from?
That's from Bubbles.
Okay.
Or Bubblies is how it's spelt, but apparently it's pronounced Bubbles. I don't understand it, but you know, I'm not gonna give you shit for it right now. But like, literally, hit the go live button. You have to. There's been so like even like this week, like I've been sitting here just like this, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. And like I get viewers and everything. It's not that like I'm just worried that no one's gonna be there or anything. It's just like some days it's just not there for you, like mentally. And like you hit that live button, you just like hover over it for a second, and you're like, man, fuck. And then you have to click it, and you just do, and like make sure like it doesn't like go directly to your face. Like, you know, like put an intro screen up there, you know, play some music and try to pump yourself up for it. But above all else, hit that live button and you'll be ready.
Yes.
Before I hop on stream and once I'm actually on stream, sometimes isn't the same person, you know, because it's 8:30 in the morning and I'd rather be sleeping, or, you know, like I got a bunch of other stuff I need to be doing that day. But once I hit the live button, it's the regular me that you'll always see, that I act like. And I'm not putting up an act or anything. I'm not trying to say that. But, you know, sometimes streaming isn't the easiest thing, but you have to do it. You just have to. If you want to stream, you have to stream. There's no, I want to stream, but I don't want to stream. If you want to stream, you got to stream 100%.
Absolutely. There's a really good quote I like related to this. Kind of gets used in the context of working out, but anything with consistency involved is the same, really. Basically, the days that it feels the hardest to do something, or you don't want to do something the most, is the day when you need to do it the most. So if you have this feeling in your head that you really don't want to do something, that's a sign you really need to do it. So it's like totally reversed. But if you get that in your head and think that like, okay, this is the day that something changes, right? This is the day that it's the hardest, but it makes the biggest difference if I go do it. And like Velok said, just do it. And we can keep saying that all day, but basically you're going to have to start it at some point. You're going to have to stay consistent. And the longer you do it for consistently, the easier it gets. If you make it a habit, like Velok knows he's going to be streaming every day at 8:30 or whatever. You don't think about it, right? That's what you do.
Yeah.
So,
my body wakes me up at 7 in the morning every day. So
exactly. So if you develop into a routine and a habit, that also helps make it easier. After like the few times, it's like working out, right? The first times you go to the gym, you're like, oh my gosh, I hate this. Like, this is the worst. But then if you keep doing it over a few weeks, eventually you don't think about it. You're just like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym today. That wasn't a decision you made. You just knew that was happening. So I think streaming can get to that point too, if you just are consistent enough with it.
For sure.
Yeah. I think people are asking questions but not tagging me, so let me sift through a little bit here, see if I can find them. Okay, Finnan, that's a cool name. Said, what is something you can do if your significant other isn't a fan of your streaming or of the times you want to stream? Man, that's a fun one.
That is tough, man.
Yeah.
My wife is super supportive of my stream. So I'm very, very fortunate. I make sure to let her know that I appreciate her support with it. Man, that's a very, very packed question.
Yeah.
Work with her or work with them on, you know, their schedule. And, you know, one thing that's the best to do is like if you have like a different work schedule, like try to make it sure that you're streaming when they're not home. Maybe that'll just make things easier. But then like there'll come a time when, like, you know, sometimes my wife is like, oh, you didn't clean this morning. Well, I was streaming this morning. I'm sorry. But you know, it's just like I said, it's way easier having someone that's supportive. So I don't have too much to say on that, but work with them as much as possible, because ultimately that's what really matters. Above everything else is your personal life, for sure. Because if your personal life isn't going well, your stream will not go well.
Yeah, I would say, Finnan, we actually just did a podcast on this with Dust to Design on work-life stream balance. So how to balance streaming while also having a family and working. I would say it comes down to like two big things. The first is priorities. The second is communication. Priorities, you have to know what matters most to you in life, and like literally even draw it out, write it out. Like if your wife is always going to become, I don't know if it's your wife or your significant, I think you said significant other. If your significant other is always above your stream in terms of importance, then stick to that, and it won't be such a hard choice or decision. You know, ideally your significant other supports you as a streamer, but that's not always going to happen. The second piece of that is communication, like I said, and over communicating. To start with, you know, trying to make them understand what streaming is, why you're passionate about it, why they can be excited about it. If they're still not receptive to that, then just communicating, you know, when you're going to be streaming, what it's going to be like, when you'll be available. The worst thing you can do is have a significant other who doesn't support streaming and then not tell them about it and just stream whenever you want to. And then they'll just be very mad and angry about all that. But even if you have someone who doesn't support your stream, if you at least communicate with them that, hey, I understand you don't like this, but I'm going to do this from this time to this time. I'll still make time for you here. Just communication is so, so important. Please listen to that podcast. Dust said it a lot more eloquently than I just did. And I think it'll really help you. So I'll link that at the end if you guys want to go see last week's episode. It just came out like 2 days ago. So hopefully that helps, Finnan. And thank you for tuning in, by the way. I appreciate it. Any other questions here? Any other call-ins? I didn't check that recently. If anybody has a topic they would like to talk about on the show with us, remember, join our Discord. I'll spam it again. I'm sorry that I keep saying this, but I'll make sure people who are new to the show see this. You join that Discord, you drop your topic or question into the topic submission thread, the little text chat, and then we will pull you and bring you on the air, and you can chat with us and talk about how beautiful Velok is to him, like so many of our guests have already done. So, because apparently that's what the show is about. So, yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions. Please, please, please. Do you see any that we're missing here, Velok? I'm trying to thread through here.
Mentioned that she's personally having issues streaming creative stuff. She's terrified to do it. I mean, that just goes back to, if you want to do it, give it a shot. Like, it's like, I wouldn't ever do creative streaming because I'm not that kind of streamer. I know I'm not. But if that's something you feel like you might be decent at, try it out for a stream. Like, communicate it to the people that watch you and tweet it out in like maybe a week in advance. Maybe just better to get some people hyped up about it and just give it a shot. And if it doesn't go well, maybe don't do it again. Maybe try it in a different way. But definitely just try it out for sure. There's no harm in having one bad stream by any means.
Right. Yeah. I think, creative, it probably feels more personal than game stream, because depending on what you're doing with creative, you're sort of expressing yourself and just being more vulnerable with, whether it's art or music. You're presenting that and people could potentially judge that. But at the end of the day, I think it's still like anything else on Twitch. You just have to do it. And you'll probably deal with people who can be negative. Same thing as gaming. You just have to have ways to filter that out and have a good mod team, things like that, to help make it so that you feel welcomed with the creative stuff as opposed to judged all the time. That's my thoughts on that. All right. I think I saw one from Sodomy. He said, content versus presentation. Which is Betsy? And then corrected it to be better. But I just thought that was so funny. Which is Betsy? Content versus presentation. So basically your stream content itself versus, these are kind of like vague ideas. Presentation could be like how it looks on the channel, like visually, your overlays, your panels, your quality, or presentation could be like how you present yourself. For the sake of this discussion, I'll say we talk about it like content being the actual, what you're playing, how you engage with the chat, things like that. And then presentation would be overlays, panels, whatever, camera quality, video quality. Which do you think is more important, Velok? Throwing that.
Okay, so they're both definitely important, 100%. But for me, one thing I like realize is that like you can get the flashiest looking stream ever, and people might click on it and they might check you out. And if your content's not on point, they're not gonna stay there, 100%. You can have the most like crazy awesome content ever, and no one's gonna check you out because maybe your stream looks like garbage from the bat. So there has to be middle ground for sure. I would definitely say you need to focus on content more, because the people that do click on you, you want to make sure that they stay there. So definitely focus on creating quality content, 100%. And then once you think you've solidified that, then like definitely start looking into more like better presentation. So like one thing that I did is I started incorporating like I had the blue in my overlay for a while, but then I started incorporating like bright, like the yellow in there, just to try to like catch people's eye when they're scrolling through the directory. So that they'll click on it and then they'll come in and they'll see me and my content and hopefully enjoy it. So you definitely have to focus on keeping the viewers in there first, and then worry about getting more people to come in, and that way they'll stay in there. That's the way I look at it.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Ideally you have both of those things at a good place, but if you have to choose one or the other, it's definitely content. I mean, you'll see streams that have thousands and thousands of viewers that look awful, that just because the person who's playing it, I think like T-Pain, I want to say T-Pain was streaming for a little while, and it was like off of hotel Wi-Fi. He was playing Overwatch at like a 300 bit rate, and it was just like completely unwatchable, and his mic was awful, but he had like 10,000 viewers, and that's content. Like, yes, he's a celebrity, but at the end of the day, that's content, right? It didn't matter what his stream looked like. The fact that he was T-Pain, the fact that he was hilarious, because actually he was hilarious, not just good at music, that's why people were watching him. So that's what really, really is the core of your stream. Presentation is just sort of like the icing on the top. I think some streams can definitely stand out because of icing, and they can catch people's attention, but they won't hold their attention unless the content's there. That would be my quick thoughts on that. I keep saying that phrase, but you get like really self-conscious of this stuff when you do podcasts and listen to it.
No, for sure.
Man, I say
Definitely
like
makes you
every
think about
5
what your
seconds.
stream's all about.
Yeah, for sure.
MPI is a question.
Yeah, I saw that. Hold on, real quick before we get that. Finnan had one that I thought was hilarious. Said, how do you get on that gravy train where everyone subs your channel for the emotes, but no one comes by your stream when you're live? Kappa $. That cracked me up. I don't know of an example of someone who does that, but my guess is you just have to have the top tier emotes, man. Someone's going to be like, I think of like Moon. You see like the stupid little Widowmaker, like purple face. Have you ever seen that?
I haven't.
Okay, maybe it's just Overwatch streams, but everyone always spams Moon's stupid little like purple widow face everywhere just because it's a hilarious emote. I mean, if you just have hilarious emotes, people will sob for the emotes because.
Like, look at Tim the Tat Man. He has some of the best emotes that you can get. Like, in my opinion, I love his. Like, definitely try to think of emotes that you could use in any stream. 100%. Like, there's just like definitely look into that.
Yeah, that was too great of a question not to ask. Yeah, but MPI did have a question. He said, what do you think is the best way to let a streamer know that they are having a technical issue like audio too loud without possibly offending them? That's a good question. You have to be strategic about it, I think. It depends on the streamer too. Like some streamers just won't care. They would rather know in the chat than like you just not say anything. Because I think a lot of viewers just don't say anything out of trying to be polite. But then that stream goes on for like an hour and no one can see anything. So I would say like rule of thumb, don't be afraid to call it out. But if you're really concerned about it, you can always whisper somebody because that'll show up separately but still in the chat. So the viewers can't see it, but the streamer can still see it. That's a good way. Discord DMing is not bad either. Whispering is probably my favorite though. Do you have any thoughts on that, Phil?
No, I definitely think that any way to communicate it is better than not communicating an issue on stream. Definitely don't be an a-hole about it. Like don't be incredibly rude. But like I would much rather get any sort of like constructive criticism than not getting anything.
Right.
I understand being polite and not wanting to say anything, but at the end of the day, like the streamer most of the time, I don't know. I think streamers shouldn't be offended by someone calling out an issue on their stream. They should be like, "Oh, I need to fucking fix that."
Yeah,
that's the way that I look at it. Like, so
it's part of live streaming.
Yeah,
So.
for sure.
Snoop Hogg, I believe, is on the show. Are you here? Can you hear us? Hey, what's up, Snoop? How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing well, man.
Always good.
Where are you calling from today, sir?
I am calling from my house in Connecticut, but I had to fix my PC to even do this.
Oh, well, welcome from Connecticut. What do you want to talk about on the show today?
So my question's for either of you guys, because I know you both play a heavy bit of both, and I know Green, you're an Overwatch guy, so you appreciate this question. But how do you feel about single player versus multiplayer on stream when it comes to talking to your community and interaction?
Are you talking about specific games or playing by yourself in a multiplayer game? Like
more so specific games, I think, because playing by yourself in a multiplayer still kind of tells your attention towards it.
So specifically games that are single player games versus multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Okay. Vel, I know you've done a little bit of single player stuff with like Witcher and
Witcher, Far Cry,
yeah,
stuff like that. It's way different streaming single player games than it is multiplayer games. It's tough, man, because I used to only do CS:GO, like I was saying earlier, and then like once I got bored of CS:GO, I was like, well, what do I fucking play? Like, there's I don't know what to play because there's a competitive shooter that was really doing it for me. So I tried to do like a wide variety of different story mode games, like single player games, and it's really not easy at first. I did terribly. It was awful. Some of those early single player streams were some of the worst streams I've ever had by far. But it also depends on what kind of streamer you are. Like Dan the Dapper is incredible at streaming single player games. Incredible. Like, just, I don't know how he does it. He's way better than I will ever be at streaming a single player game by far. But people like White Shadow are really good at streaming multiplayer games. So it's just, there's no better or worse. It's just whatever you're good at. There's no, it's just, it depends on the streamer. I still will like play the occasional single player game, because I know I can't do it too often. But
yeah. Sorry not to cut you off here.
No.
I think people should actually think more about this than they do. We've actually been experimenting around with this with the TRUgaming channel. You'll see that like people have, first of all, it depends on you as a person, right? What kind of games you enjoy. That is, of course, core, because the stuff that you enjoy most, the stream will probably enjoy most. So let's take Doc, for example, just because I've been working with Doc on this for a while. So Doc, when he started TRUgaming, most of the time, he's done multiplayer stuff, right? He played a lot of PUBG. He got into Fortnite when it came out, even like Destiny 2. It was pretty much always multiplayer stuff with other people. And he was pretty decent at those games, but he would, those were saturated games, but more importantly, I think was the issue that he would get very frustrated with them, whether he was playing with certain people that would get under his skin or just like not playing badly. You could kind of see it like getting to him. And so he made the decision to switch to single player stuff probably a couple months ago. And that is clearly like much more of his groove. As we've like looked at the channel, it's really, he's come more into it. His viewers respond more to it. The TRUgaming people who are all here in the beautiful chat love to see it more, because I think one of the biggest reasons is because he just responds better to single player games. He doesn't get so aggravated by people. You can tell he's enjoying himself. So I think lesson from that being, find out what you react best to and what your stream will react best to, because it's not like a blanket answer for anyone. I'm on the side where I'm always going to play multiplayer games. I just don't want to play single player stuff. If I had to play single player stuff, I think my stream would suffer because I wouldn't enjoy it. Therefore, the stream wouldn't enjoy it. And I think Velok's sort of like more on that angle too. Whatever is working for you, keep doing that. That's like the number one rule of streaming. So.
No, I appreciate it. No, I agree. I see a better performance not only out of Doc, because Doc streams have been killing it since he swapped over to single player. But even on my own end, it's that my streams perform better. I hold better viewers. I hold more viewers. Yeah. Only other thing, and it's kind of tough because you guys both play multiplayer, is I'm curious everybody's thoughts. Maybe somebody in the chat or something like that plays single player a lot, but during the heavy story-driven moments, so like even in Dark Souls where there's a lot of narrative going on, do you shut up? Do you quiet down? Do you talk less?
Yeah, even though I'm not a big single player streamer, I definitely know what you're talking about. I would say it's just kind of the same thing. See what your chat wants. I know Doc is on the side where he will like turn off his camera and not say anything during cutscenes because he thinks I would guess people want to see more of that stuff, so he plays the people want. But maybe the best way to do that is to try it out a few different times. Like maybe you spend a week or so, and every cutscene you keep talking over it and don't really change anything. Whereas the next week you change it and you don't say anything, and you see, well, this week more people stick around or more people came into the stream during that time. That's probably the best way to do it, in my opinion.
All right, well, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think I'm good. You guys have covered a lot of stuff, at least from what I've been able to catch.
Cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate the call-in.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
You too,
Later, bro.
See you.
I love you, Val. Bye.
Love you too, man.
Every
Bubbles has
caller.
another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I know, right? Insane. She says cam versus no cam in a stream. What do you think, Green? Take your, because you're the one who looks through a lot of different streams.
Yeah. It depends. I think my answer has sort of changed on this over time. I think a camera is actually really helpful for a channel. I don't think it's required. There are some big channels out there that don't use a camera. I think especially if you are a single, well, Lyric is like the red herring here that just throws everything off. He's pretty much, to my knowledge, like the only streamer of his size that doesn't use a camera and still pulls the viewers he does. And he's variety. My general rule of thumb is that like if you only play one game and you're known for that, and especially if you're very good at a game and you're playing competitively, people want to see the gameplay more than they want to see you anyway. So it doesn't really matter if you have a camera. But Lyric just throws everything off because he plays everything and he doesn't use a camera. He's not even opposed to using a camera. He actually said that he doesn't want to use a camera because his viewers don't want him to use the camera. So it's crazy.
He's also been there for so long, so it
Yeah.
didn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like early on, like Twitch is a totally different animal now. Like whereas like we're like streamers now have to worry about a lot of different things that most people didn't really have to worry about when it was really early on online. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know what do you think, man?
I would say you can do it either way, but you have to realize what you're getting into. If you're not going to use a camera, there are some pluses to it that are great, right? You don't have to like, especially if you're a girl, you don't have to put time into looking pretty. I know a lot of girl streamers will not use a camera for multiple reasons, but that's one of them. So that, is a plus. Like if you just don't feel like looking good, you don't have to worry about lighting, green screen, background, whatever. That's all thrown out. You can just stream from a PC anywhere, easy. The downside is that because you don't have a camera, you have to make up for that with your audio. So, if you're using a camera like this, you can take a few seconds to be quiet or something and still be doing something with your hands or moving around. If you're audio and you're not talking, the chat has nothing. So it's really important to keep the audio going as much as you can if you're not going to use a camera. Even if you're using a camera, it's important, but I think even more important without a camera. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. I mean, totally. One thing you also have to realize is that like it's going to be harder for the viewers to build a connection with you as a person if they can't see you. And that's just nothing wrong with that. It's going to be harder for them to, because people come into my channel, they see my face, and like people have been coming in here today and they comment on my beard or like say like, oh, you're so beautiful or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really easy to just build a connection with someone if you can put a face to the name. So if you don't have that, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So like Green was saying, you really do have to up the audio a lot.
You can kind of make it work for you too, though. I've seen a few streamers who have like, it's really funny. I know League streamers the most just because I spent way too much time on League the past couple of years. There was one of the biggest streamers of pretty much anybody was a really high tier League player, played ADC, and you can only hear his voice. But because of that, like everyone kind of always wondered what he looked like. He's like, well, is this person a girl? Is this person like 30, 50, 60, 70 years old? Like everyone would be guessing, trying to figure out what this guy looked like. And so he actually like played that up as part of his stream. So you could also make that work as something fun to like make jokes about what you actually look like or something. But the issue is once you go to a camera, you can't really go back. So keep that in mind. If you're going to like start with no cam and then one day you're like, 1,000 subs, cam face reveal, you can't really go back. It's just going to be weird because once the people have seen you, everything changes. So I'd keep that in mind too. We have a lot of questions coming out of this one, it looks like. So, or maybe just comments. Snoop Hogg is commenting on Moon, who's another Overwatch streamer who doesn't use a camera. He's another good example of someone who's very big. But again, he's very good at a game. So people would probably rather see the gameplay and hear his hilarious voice than you see the camera. It's not that important because he's a hilarious dude just in what he says, and his gameplay is great. So it works for him. Finnan is another question. I love that name. He said, follow up, would you say that if you don't have a cam, you have to work extra hard at connecting with viewers? Yeah, it's kind of what we were talking about, specifically with audio, right? I don't think it's any different on social media or anything, but during the chat itself or during the stream itself, your audio, you have to be talking a lot because that's all you have to communicate instead of, see, right now I'm communicating, but I'm not saying anything, right? But if I have no camera, then, oops, not that. I was going to turn off the camera. Yeah, suddenly it's a lot more boring. So that's my point there. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. And like think like of Ninja without a camera. He doesn't have the most entertaining audio all the time. Aside from like when he gets really pumped up, but part of the reason like it's cool when he gets pumped up is because you see him like push his chair back and and like get super like jacked up about it and everything. So if you don't have a camera, you don't get to see that and you don't get to experience that as much. So you definitely need to step your audio up like a whole lot. Like I would never want to stream without a camera, just because like I don't know, it'd be totally different for me. I'm so used to having a camera now. I don't think I've ever streamed without one. So it's different. It's very different. Yeah,
but I'd say like quick and dirty advice is just to figure out one way to go with it and stick to it, and basically build your stream around that. So that was a great question, though. Thank you for that. There was a lot of discussion around that.
Drez says, "What if the streamer is legitimately unattractive? Do you think that would scare viewers away?" Serious question. I don't think so. Twitch is very, very, very accepting and supportive of pretty much everybody. So it doesn't really matter what you look like. Like I thought that like I wouldn't, I thought maybe having a camera would be like terrible for my stream, you know what I mean? Like, and obviously I'm not a beautiful person, you know what I mean? But people come in here, they're like, "Oh man, Vel, you're so beautiful. Like look at that sexy beard and stuff like that." But like obviously like that's all just, fun and games and stuff. So just if you want to have a camera and you're worried about your looks, don't worry about your looks. Which is one of the most like happy and loving places that there is.
That's the thing about live streaming, right? Is there's no editing in live streaming. I mean, you go to like Instagram, Facebook, whatever, people spend hours touching up photos and stuff. You can't do that when you're streaming for 8 hours a day and you're trying to look good. Like look at Ninja even, like Ninja's, not a bad looking guy by standards, but you'll watch him like 6 hours into the stream and you can see it. He's tired. He's falling down. So no one is perfect on Twitch. That's the beauty of it, I think. Like I've got zits on the side of my face or whatever. I am not, like Velox said, a beautiful man by any stretch. And I think people are really receptive to that on Twitch if you're being genuine and real. That's what it's all about. So I would say go for it. If that's your concern, is like being made fun of for looking bad, like I get that, but I don't think that should be a reason to not use a camera. If there are other reasons, like you don't want to be harassed or something, I know girls deal with that. That could be a different reason that might be legitimate. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Tris. Take it seriously. Okay, missing anyone over here? Trying to read through all these. Please tag TRUgaming in the chat, guys. Thanks. So see them bright red. I also don't see any in the Discord. So it is already 12. We've been going for like 2 hours, I think.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Yeah. So actually the Conan stuff starts in 1 hour. So that's pretty exciting. We're going to be launching that pretty soon. I don't see any other questions right now. So I think we might start wrapping it up. If you guys have another question, you can quickly throw it in the chat here and we'll get to it. But this has been Stream Key. I hope you've enjoyed it. Velok, do you have anything you want to add to people, to where to find you, anything you want to plug with coaching, whatever?
Definitely sign up for coaching. Not even just for me, for any of the coaches. If any of you guys are interested in, like, if any of you guys are having a stream and there's any issues you're having with it, go sign up for coaching at TRUstreaming.tv, like we just linked there. It's definitely worth it. We're all streamers. We've all been through like all the hurdles and obstacles that there are. Especially with starting a stream. It's incredibly rough, and we understand it, and we'll try to help you out as much as we can because we've been there for sure. So definitely go sign up if you need any help. We got you for sure. You can check out my channel at VELOKK_TV as always, and I'm sure all of you know.
Right there under his camera.
Yeah. But yeah, so aside from that, I don't have anything.
Cool. Awesome. I have like 3 more rapid fire questions I'm going to throw at you to get your thoughts on it. Let's wrap this up here. Adronis said, how important is artwork to a channel? Quick thoughts on that. I'll give you that one first. Like with logos, overlays, etc.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important. I don't think it's it's great to have a good logo and everything, but it's not needed, especially when you're starting out. Like you can start out and just have a camera, and that's it. Like just a camera and gameplay. You don't need any overlay or anything. But like eventually, you want to start like slowly progressing all those things. Like now I have a logo, and I love my logo. I think it's sick. I think my overlay looks good. I think everything's really clean. So you just want to like progress with that for sure. But it's nothing you need when you first start out.
Right. It's like what Sodome said earlier with that content versus presentation stuff. Presentation will grab someone's attention, but it won't hold it. Content will hold people's attention. So hopefully that helps you. And you can go back and listen to that if you would like to as well. Silent Ghost said, new games versus older. Is it worth playing a single player game long term to the point the hype drops off and the streams die down and carry through? So I guess basically playing a new game on release, a single player new game, until it dies off and then moving to the next one. Is that a good strategy? So like God of War, for example, it's a good idea to play that on day one until people are tired of it and then move on to a new game.
I haven't been playing God of War, and I really want to get it. One, I don't have a PlayStation, but I also noticed that the hype for it right now, or at least when it first came out, was huge. And so I don't want anything to do with that because I'm going to be competing with everybody. So I'm going to go stream my other things or whatever. But in about like 5 months, I might go purchase a PlayStation and play God of War on stream because it looks like a fantastic game. Like I don't stream single player games for the most part, unless it looks really good. This game looks like one that I think I'd be able to stream very well. And so in about 5 months after it kind of dies down a little bit, but still has somewhat of a following, I'm going to go check it out and stream it. And that's the way I look at it. Like you'll get like, it's flooded with people when it first comes out. So being a small streamer is going to be very, very difficult for you to get views in it. Yeah. So I would definitely wait until it starts to tame down a little bit and then jump on it then.
Yeah, I will say it kind of changes depending on the size of your audience. If you're a small streamer, I think that can hurt you trying to jump on the hype train. But if you have a community who's excited about a game coming out already, like if you're in the 30 to 40 range even, 15 even, if your viewers want to see you play a game when it comes out, then I would do that. Because you have to trade off a little bit between playing games that get you discovered, but then also playing things that your community wants to see. Because at some point, I was talking to Doc about this. He's been wrestling with playing God of War because, there's so much hype around it. He waited to play it a couple weeks because he wanted the hype to die down a bit on it so he could get a bit more traction. But there's also the side where, now we have this community of people who they want to see God of War and they'd probably like to see Doc play it, of all people. So At some point you got to factor that into there too and say, well, I might actually get a lot of viewers on this because the ones who want to see the game come out of the woodwork to see me. So it changes at some point, but there's not like a clear cutoff on that. So
yeah,
hopefully that helps. I know it's kind of long-winded. So Adronis, you can apply for the artist program. I actually don't have an application on the site. I need to put that up there. The links are in the Discord. So I'll get that to you. Message me, Adronis, and I'll get you a sign up for that. I will also post it somewhere on the website at some point here. It's on the TRUgaming website. That's what it is, not the True Streaming one. So I'll link that. But guys, this is the show. So thank you for coming out. I'm going to quickly spam the Spreaker link so that you can go check out the rest of the show if you want to listen to it. It's on every platform: iTunes, Stitcher, Twitch, YouTube, Pocket Casts, Anchor, everything. And Velok's on 3 episodes now, so you can listen to more stuff with him, as well as 26 other episodes with the great people. And also, please join the Discord. I'm trying to start using this more for the show, specifically the Stream Key Discord. We'll be doing more episodes like this with the live call-ins. I might make this a weekly thing if Velok's interested, because he's here every week. I'd love to do like a morning coffee, I don't know what to call it, like a morning show basically, podcast, where we just rant about Twitch news and also get people to call in and argue with us. So
for sure, I like that.
All right. So yeah, guys, go check that resources out. And remember that we will be starting in about an hour with the Conan stuff. And we have like hundreds of Conan keys to give away. Front page Twitch time, lots of craziness going on. It's going to be hilarious. So come by for that and we will see you later. So adios.